I was 9 months old, November 22nd, 1963. My mom was giving me a bath, and she told me, she said she heard a knock at the door, and whoever it was told her that President Kennedy had been shot. I was 9 months old. Of course, I was too young to remember. My dad was in Lexington, Kentucky, on top of a roof, and a paper boy come by and yelled up to him that President Kennedy had been shot. I was watching a YouTuber whose name I will reveal in a moment. Anyway, now let's fast forward to today. Anyway, this YouTuber, he goes to Dallas. Of course, with our high-tech cameras of today, he's got one. He goes, of course, that where Lee Harvey Oswald, or Oswald, where he apparently allegedly shot from the sixth floor story of the book depository. Anyway, you're not allowed to film on the sixth floor. Of course, the museum cost you some money. He got him a ticket. But you're allowed to film on the seventh floor. So he goes to the seventh floor. Now, there you're only 8 or 10 feet above where Oswald allegedly took the shots. Anyway, with that YouTuber, his very clear camera, he aims out that window to the road, and it's so clear. Now, they got a white, in case you don't know this, they got a white cross or an X painted on the road at the point where Kennedy was hit in the head. As he's filming that, there's all kind of tourists down there. Now the road's busy, but when there ain't no cars, you'll see people walking on that X and taking a selfie, a picture of themselves. Well, as he was filming that, a lady dressed in dark clothes stood on that X and took a picture of herself, the point at where Kennedy was hit in the head. Now, in case you don't know this, as she did that quickly, I measured the dotted lines on the road. I tell you what, my thoughts on that, my personal thoughts, Lee Harvey Oswald took an impossible shot. Now, I always thought that road was more straight, but it's not. At that point where she's standing on that a painted X on the road, it immediately, those white lines immediately turn right, and there's that sharp right turn. Oswald almost didn't get him because when he shot him in the head, the limousine was actually turning right then. Of course, he couldn't have shot when the limousine would be parallel to him because he would have got Mrs. Kennedy. And I do not think, I think he did not want to get her at all, just the president. But that was my thoughts on it. And it's about 10 years ago, I heard a guy say that. I was in the parking lot, and I guess it was his friend or somebody, and he just come from over in Milford. Anyway, he just come from down in Dallas, at where Kennedy was assassinated. I heard him telling this guy as I walked toward him that he thought it looked like Oswald took an impossible shot. And he was such in a hurry, I didn't have time to question him. What do you mean? I thought maybe he meant a sign in the way or trees in the way or whatever. But when I seen that ultra clear view with that YouTuber's camera, boy, he's right. I tell you what, it would have been hard to hit him there. It would have been hard to shoot him there. It really would have. I was watching a clip from JFK where they proved he was hit from the front and back. The actor, can't think of the name of the actor, but he repeats, he's showing that video clip from the front right, and his head goes back. So apparently Oswald was not the only gunman. But I was back to November 22nd, 1963. I was 9 months old. Of course, I don't remember it. And at the time President was shot, In the head, I was wet with water. My mom was giving me a bath. November 22nd, 1963.